We are only
No, the motion,
endorsing what has
basically,
been done.
we're gonna either vote to support by voting yes, or we're not gonna vote to support by voting no. So the motion is to support moving forward with the higher one implementation.
Yes, support it.
Support it.
It's pretty much supporting it, saying
Yes, we
we're
approve.
supporting Minskew's decision with higher one, or before we're not.
Yeah, the other option.
We don't
I
really
guess-
have an option to say we don't want it.
Well, we can say we don't.
Well,
want it.
right.
That would be a separate
Right.
motion. Christopher, did you?
Really?
Or did I?
Yes, no, I
Did
was,
I say what you were gonna say?
I was just gonna address the comment
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just made, regardless of whether or not it comes here, I think that, we have an interest to look out
Right.
for all of the students here. And, I get the feeling that even amongst the people in this room that, there's, not everybody is in agreement that these are the best terms for them. The only and the biggest benefit that I'm really seeing from this is the alleviation of the amount of work that our poor staff has to do. And so if there is really one thing to consider is, do the fees that are going to be charged to the students that are in this account warrant the amount of work that the folks that we have in our offices have to do? And I think if you look at it from that perspective, that should help define whether or not that's the right decision. With that, I move to kill the main motion indefinitely. I'm sorry, I move to lay the motion on the table aside indefinitely.
Okay, so we got a motion on the table. Is there a second? Seconded by Rob. So, motion to table the motion indefinitely, seconded by Rob. Speak to your motion.
I yield.
Unless you already have. Rob, speak to your second.
Yeah, I just, I think that, that we're, it's assuming too much that the majority of the Metro State students are gonna want this. And, I don't know, I just don't think it's a good idea. And I think to move forward and approving a motion just because it's going to be here anyway is demeaning of our Senate, and it really, says that what we've decided, it has no, meaning, so.
Discussion, Diane.
I'd like to call for a roll call.
Roll call requested and roll call granted.
Sorry,
Any
roll
further
call
discussion? What?
on-
Roll call on the motion to table indefinitely.
Okay.
And it's the discretion of the chair to grant roll call.
Postpone indefinitely, wasn't
Table indefinitely, same thing. Further discussion, Noel?
To the motion maker, the reason this motion is being made is because you feel that it's being done anyways, so the only thing that students would be doing would be saying, I understand the terms, but we're not really saying, we don't really have a say necessarily on what's, because it's being done, we're just saying whether we understand or not.
Point of
is-
clarification.
Is it to me?
Point of clarification.
I'm not
The
sure.
motion- The motion on the table for discussion right now is to table indefinitely. But to your point,
Mhm.
the motion is to support it. So it's not that we're just saying we understand the terms, it is that we are supporting moving forward. Just to clarify. That's the original motion.
Okay, and what does it mean if you don't support moving forward?
Then we don't support it.
No, but what does it mean?
It's
It
there.
means we don't support it, that's all. It's our voice saying we do not support this.
It means we go back to the administration, say we hold our previous motion and decision that we do not support higher one coming to Metro State.
So,
Okay, I'm not saying that I do or don't, but I mean,
sure.
if you say you don't, what does it do? What
Well,
does
if that
it
motion
mean?
is still on the
About
table,
the
you
same
vote
amount
down.
as saying that we do support it. Essentially. I mean, it lends our voice to the argument. That's
Right.
really all either of these motions would do. That's all it would do.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yeah, I mean, not to say that our voice isn't important, but that's what we're doing, is just giving our voice to the discussion. Any further?
Yield.
Bill? Diane?
I just want to bring up, if we do table this motion indefinitely, we did already have a previous motion, so it will be still on record that we do not support. So I just want to, that would still be in our minutes as our decision, so that would be what we would bring to administration for further notification.
And for a point of parliamentary clarification, even though it's tabled indefinitely, someone, anytime down the road, can make a motion to bring it off the table. Even though it's tabled indefinitely, that just means there's no time frame for when it has to come back up. It's gonna be on the table. So, I mean, it's always out there that it could be brought back up, just so everyone's clear on that.
Point of information, wouldn't that just be a motion to lay on the table?
Same thing. Put on the
Well, no,
table.
yeah, you're right, I'm sorry, John, yes, you are correct, by indefinitely, yes, this would,
Till next session.
yeah, well, it would have to be reintroduced as a brand new motion, which it could be done anyway.
Call the question. Or are we going to a vote now?
Did we have, I thought Rob's before you.
All right.
I just wanted to know, is there a way to take that previous motion that we all voted to not support it? Can we reverse that to not necessarily not support it, but not saying that we do either? And then this would be like the final.
It would.
We would have to take action on this and then create a new, or somebody would have to bring a new motion to have a neutral position on this issue.
So let me clarify. If it stays, if the motion is voted down so that it is not, we do not lay it on the table, then we can look for another motion to overturn the previous, saying we would like to not support, but
Take a neutral tone.
we would like to take a neutral action.
Thank you.
Yes.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Yes.
Okay, does it have to be in the same meeting to reconsider a previous motion, or can someone from the motion was made in the last meeting, so can someone in this meeting who voted for that motion take it off the table?
Sure. I move to reconsider.
I believe we could reconsider the motion.
Even though the previous meeting?
We looked at
But we, with all administration.
We could, but it would be easier to just vote on this motion and make a new motion. It would be much easier than to try and go through the rules.
Can I have a point of information? With all things that come through administration, we always leave it open for further discussion, where if new information is brought to us, that way, so if we approve it or deny it, either way, if administration comes back with more information, just as we're doing later with the DARs, that we can reopen it or do a new one. That's just been procedure, so that, if we're not getting full information, if information has changed, things like that.
Okay, so the motion on the table is to table indefinitely. Any further discussion to tabling? Angie?
I move to rescind my motion.
Okay, so the original motion to support.
Well, accept and approve.
So
it wasn't
by doing
approved,
so,
support, number
that
one, that word
would
wasn't in the motion.
void your motion. Are you okay with that? Again, we're in the same boat we were in before.
I'm not.
You're not. So you want to have a vote on,
I want, yeah,
okay, so that means we have to vote on yours and then vote on the original motion.
I'm fine with
Well, no, because if we vote on his, then it would be tabled indefinitely,
Then
so we
we
would
don't
go
vote
back to the
on
original
Right,
motion.
right, depending on.
that. I'm
I don't know how many
Sorry, a
you
bunch
want.
of parliamentary.
Yes, Noel, sorry.
It's okay.
It's just a discussion on the words that we used in the initial motion at the, meetings ago, 2 meetings ago, 1 meeting ago. And then the words that we've used right now in Angie's motion are all implying some kind of student input in the actual implementation of this. But since there isn't really, since it's already in place, I think that the wording should be more in another way, because we're not really saying that when we said we didn't support, it was kind of like give us more information, because I think some people thought that they were going to have some say in whether it happened or not. So that
Just
old
as a point
motion
of
might be
information,
obsolete.
I think, the wording of the motion, the previous motion that we passed was that we didn't support implementation. And then we conveyed to administration that we were open to more information.
Okay.
Leaving the door open to make another motion essentially is what we did by saying that. So, and here we are. Yes, state your point.
The November 18th minutes read that motion by C. Wynn not to support hire one implementation was seconded by the administration. So the motion was to simply not support it.
And then wording for the current motion that's trying to be tabled is?
To overturn the previous decision made in regard to hire one to support the implementation of hire
No,
one.
never says
it's
to.
accepting and approving.
Any further discussion on tabling? On tabling?
Well, we're tabling whether we support.
If we table, okay, just for clarification, for everyone's clarification, the motion on the table is to table this motion indefinitely. If we do that, we will not be taking a vote on supporting the approval and implementation of hire one. And then we move on from there.
Point of information, that's not what the wording of the motion is.
Okay, restate the wording of the motion.
He hasn't even
No,
moved.
it was never listed as support, it was accepting and approving.
Accepting, okay, accepting and approving. Either way, the motion on the table before us right now is to table that motion indefinitely. If that happens, we will not be taking a vote on that, and we move on to the next thing. So either way, just so everyone's clear, whatever we vote on either of these motions, hire one is moving forward, there's a contract in place. What we are voting on is lending our voice to the discussion to administration. Does that make sense? Okay. Any further discussion? George?
Doesn't tabling it make sense, because we already voted we didn't support it in the first place? Why don't we just lay it down as we don't support it now, instead of having to bring this up, reoccur?
And that's what would happen
That's
if
the
we
point.
voted to,
Why
yes,
wouldn't
because
we do
the
that?
previous motion would be the motion of record.
Okay,
Yeah. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move on to a vote finally. And a roll call vote has been requested. So, as I call your name, please state yea or nay. Noel? Yes.
Which one are we voting on? I know.
It's the table.
It's okay. I just had to ask
Hold
the
on.
same question.
Can you clarify what you?
Point of order, point of order. We are voting on the motion to table indefinitely. Yes.
Can you clarify what yea and nay is, please, Chief?
Yes.
If you vote yea, you are voting, yes, I would like to table this indefinitely. If you vote no, I do not want to table this indefinitely. Okay? Everyone clear on what we're voting on? Good. Noel?
It's an abstention, it's neither yea or nay.
Abstention.
No.
Christopher?
Yay.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Kyle? Angie?
Nay.
Diane?
Nay.
John? Yay. Dean?
Yay.
Brooke?
Yay.
Carlotta?
Yay.
And Rob?
Yay.
Chair abstains. The vote of 8 yea, 2 nay, 2 abstention. The motion to table indefinitely does prevail. Moving on.
Thank you for joining us
Thank you.
tonight.
And we appreciate your information.
For a 10-minute break.
Second.
Motion by John for a 10-minute break, seconded by Diane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There we go.
7:35. Calling the meeting back to order at 7:49. Moving on to officer reports. President, do you have anything to report?
I do. The executive board did move forward with doing a bunch of clean out of the office, and hopefully you all think it's very pretty, because we took a lot of time on that. But one of the things is we did inventory all the promotional items, the shirts, the mugs, everything like that. Since they are inventoried, we would like it